Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
Jeep has a range of models composed entirely of SUVs, such as the Wrangler, the Gladiator, or the Grand Cherokee, and SUVs, such as the Renegade and the Compass, whose platform is the same as the new Alfa Romeo Tonale. The latter two have a difference of 17 centimeters in size and have a price range from approximately €26,000 to €43,000. The Compass is more expensive, with prices between €30,000 and €50,000, has a more luxurious presentation and equipment that can be more extensive. It is also ahead of the Renegade in trunk. In this comparison, we will unpack the main differences between the two models in terms of spaciousness, size, engine range, and equipment. If you are interested in the plug-in hybrid versions of both models, we have a comparison between the Renegade 4xe and the Compass. For XE, in which we analyze consumption, performance, driving and other details so you can make a better choice. Exterior dimensions. We face two vehicles with SUV appearance and attitudes as such, but oriented to a use primarily on asphalt. Two SUVs between 4.2 and 4.4 meters in length with 5-door bodywork. The Jeep Renegade is 4.24 meters long, 1.81 m wide, 1.67 m high, and has a wheelbase of 2.57 m. Ground clearance is 17.5 centimeters, which for an SUV is a bit low for venturing off the beaten path. Its turning diameter is 11.07 meters, which for a car of its length is little. The Jeep Compass measures 4.39 meters long, by 1.82 m wide and 1.62 m high, with a wheelbase of 2.64 meters. The ground clearance to the body is 19.8 centimeters, already a sufficient dimension to make it more versatile off-road. The turning circle is identical to that of the Renegade, 11.07 meters. As for the weight of each model, if we compare the versions with the same 150 horsepower 1.3T engine, the Renegade weighs 1,395 kilograms and the Compass 1,505. To support these weights, the former is equipped with a set of tire and rim in 215/65 R16 while the latter 215/60 R17. Up to 19-inch wheels are available on both models. Interior dimensions and roominess. These two SUVs are homologated as 5-seater vehicles. The Renegade's interior has a less sophisticated look and a simpler presentation, firstly because it has been on the market longer, and secondly because it is a cheaper and less luxurious model. The Renegade's dashboard has a vertically arranged center console with a multimedia touchscreen up to 8.4 inches, which is complemented by a traditional needle instrumentation and a second screen between the two markers, whose visibility and ergonomics are noticeably better than in the case of the Compass. The lower part of the dashboard has some frequently used buttons that are far from the hand, in an awkward position. The controls behind the steering wheel for the turn signals and windshield wipers are also far from the hand when gripping the steering wheel. In the Jeep Compass, the screen behind the steering wheel is in the style of those that many other SUVs on the market already have. It is not well resolved, it is affected by reflections, and the information is arranged in a confusing and inconspicuous way. It is accompanied by the multimedia system that, in this case, is located at the top of the center console and is in line with the upper arc of the steering wheel. Jeep has arranged fewer traditional buttons on the dashboard of the Compass compared to the Renegade, which makes it give a greater sense of lightness and simplicity. Although on the outside the two models have a 17 centimeters difference in length, the short 7 centimeters wheelbase leaves a very similar amount of headroom for the driver. The gain is in legroom for rear passengers. The distance to the roof is higher in the case of the Renegade. This fact makes it more suitable for passengers of large stature, although in habitability both models are similar and, in return, the Compass offers more width between the doors. Ride comfort is better in the Compass, due in part to its more comfortably designed seats and, above all, to the fact that it is a car that is better insulated from the state of the pavement, with a softer suspension. Neither model is noted for being perfectly insulated from wind noise at high speeds. In the Renegade's rear seats, the most flattering aspect is also the available headroom. It travels with sufficient feeling of relief, but it is not a wide car for 3 passengers to go back comfortable. The rear seats of the Compass better except that a third occupant sits in the center seat because there is a little more space between the doors. There is more room for both feet and knees. Trunk the space to accommodate cargo leaves a trunk in the Renegade of 351 liters in the diesel and gasoline versions, and 330 liters in the plug-in hybrids, which lose capacity by the rear electric motor and battery. It is a small volume. For its part, the trunk of the Compass has between 438 liters and 420 liters, for the same reasons. It is a larger capacity and similar to that of some competitors, although not close to that of the brightest in cargo space. The height of the cargo opening of this SUV is high, which complicates the placement or removal of heavy packages. Engines. As for the available versions, there are diesel, gasoline and plug-in hybrid versions. All versions have front-wheel drive except for the plug-in hybrids, which have all-wheel drive. Despite being vehicles focused on sporadic use and off-road activities, neither of the two models is equipped with a reduction gearbox, something common to other SUVs of its size. The range of engines that can animate each model are as follows: Jeep Renegade versions, gasoline 1.0 T3 120 horsepower traction 4x2. Label C diesel 1.6 multi-jet 2 130 horsepower 4x2 wheel drive. C label 190 horsepower 4xe plug-in hybrid 190 horsepower 4x4 drive. 0 label 239 horsepower. 4xe plug-in hybrid 4x4 wheel drive. 0 label Jeep Compass versions. 1.3 130 horsepower gasoline 4x2 wheel drive. C label diesel 1 and DOT. ANGD 6 multi-jet 2 130 horsepower 4x2 wheel drive. C label 190 horsepower 4xe plug-in hybrid 190 horsepower 4x4 drive. 0 label 239 horsepower 4xe plug-in hybrid 4x4 wheel drive. 0 label fuel consumption and fuel tanks. In terms of fuel consumption, the Jeep Renegade 4xe plug-in hybrid, in its limited trim, is the most efficient of the range with an expenditure of 2L/100 km. As the most economical traditional engine is the 1.6 multi-jet 2 with 5.1 and, in gasoline, the 1.0 with 5.2 liters per 100 kilometers traveled. The gasoline consumption of the Jeep Compass 4xe hybrid plug-in hybrid, both the 190 and 240 horsepower, drops below 2 liters with 1.9 L/100 km. The diesel engine gets 5.2 and the 130 horsepower gasoline engine 6.6. The Renegade has a 48-liter tank for gasoline, 55 for diesel and another 13 for AdBlue, while the plug-in hybrid has a 36.5-liter tank. The Compass, both gasoline and diesel, has a fuel tank of 55 liters that is associated with another 13 for AdBlue in the diesel engine, and one of 36.5 in the case of the PHEV. Battery and electric range. The Renegade 4xe and Compass 4xe have the same powertrain, with an 11.4 kilowatt-hour battery. Maximum charging power is 7.4 kilowatts. Charging time at this power is 1.7 hours and 5h in the case of 2.3 kilowatts. In our comparison of the Renegade 4xe versus the Compass 4xe, you have many more details about these plug-in hybrid versions. As for the range in electric mode, the range of each variant is as follows: Jeep Renegade 4xe Trailhawk 240 horsepower, 44 kilometers, 44 miles. Jeep Renegade 4xe 4xe S 240 horsepower, 44 kilometers, 190 horsepower. Jeep Renegade 4xe Limited, 43 kilometers, 43 kilometers. Jeep Compass 4xe 1.3 PHEV Trailhawk 240 HP, 52 kilometers. Jeep Compass 4xe 1.3 PHEV S 240 horsepower, 52 km Jeep Compass 4xe 190 horsepower 1.3 PHEV 4xe, 52 km pricing. According to the prices we present, you can configure your Jeep Renegade from €23,000 with an average saving of €4,301. Thanks to using the CarWow comparator, you can configure your Jeep Compass from €28,500 with an average saving of more than €5,300, prices that, depending on the model, could benefit from the Moves 3 plan discount. Conclusion. As we indicated at the beginning, these are two cars similar in concept but different in terms of their approach. With certain aspects in common, the Renegade offers a point of view that, for its part, the Compass is empowered from a more mature appearance. In fact, and, as off-road vehicles, both have good skills, being a point more agile and fun the Renegade but more portentous and properly said, an off-roader itself, the Compass. Both present a good relationship between the price they cost and the quality they offer. It is then how much and where the buyer should question which of these cars fits more or better to their needs, demands, or tastes. In conclusion, both the Jeep Renegade and the Jeep Compass offer unique advantages that cater to different preferences and needs. The Renegade stands out with its compact size and playful design, making it ideal for urban adventures and tight spaces. On the other hand, the Compass provides a more spacious interior and a refined driving experience, perfect for families and longer journeys. Ultimately, your choice will depend on what you prioritize in a vehicle, whether it's agility and style or comfort and versatility. Whichever you choose, both models uphold Jeep's reputation for ruggedness and capability. Thank you for watching, and we hope this comparison helps you make an informed decision.